Hi everyone, welcome to another crochet tutorial with me, Laura, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this stitch. And I've decided to call this stitch the camping stitch, so I'm sure it's got a proper name out there somewhere in the world, but because it's such an amalgamation of different techniques, I've decided to give it a name all of its own. And I thought it looked like a little man there. You see his lie and he's sort of sat sideways, and a little tent, also a canopy of trees or something, so I decided to name this the camping stitch. So for this tutorial I'm just using, you can use any yarn for this obviously, and any hook size. I just happen to be using a DK, a light worsted weight yarn, and with that I'm using a 4mm G crochet hook. So let's begin, shall we? Okay, so these are my workings out for this little stitch combination. We're going to ignore the one at the top because that didn't work out. So we're going to look at this one here. So we're going to be working to units of 4, that's the main pattern here, plus 1, which is going to be for a double crochet at the end of the row. It's got its own stitch, and then we add 3 at the beginning for the very first double crochet. So it is effectively just a unit of 4, but I've broken it down so you can see how the stitching works. So you can scale this up to be as big or as small as you like. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our yarn and we're going to work to that unit of 4, then we'll add the other stitches at the end. So let's work to the 4 times table. So just some normal chains. So we're going to chain 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that's our first 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and I think I'll just go to 20. So 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm going to stop at 20. So that's my unit of 4. And then once you've got your unit of 4 and you're happy with the size of chains that you want, we then need to add that extra chain for our stitch at the end, and then we're going to chain 3 on top of that for our first double crochet. So this pattern's in US terminology, so in UK terminology that's going to count as a treble. Okay, so then we're going to work our first pattern row, and the first pattern row is different to the rest of the pattern. Once you get past this first row, you can just repeat the pattern and it's nice, it gets easy to remember. So, but first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over and find our second chain from our hook. So we don't count the loop on our hook, that's our first or second. Put our hook into there and we're going to bring the yarn through and we're going to pull through 2 loops. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be double crocheting stitches together, various stitches together. So then what we're going to do, we're going to stop there and we're going to yarn over again and we're going to skip 2 chains. So skip 1, skip 2, then in the next chain we're going to bring the yarn through, then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then we stop again, yarn over, then this time just skip 1 and go into the next chain, bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, then yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. Then we're going to finish it up with a chain 1. Okay, so that's your first set of stitches. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create our double crochet that we didn't have at the very beginning. We're going to go straight into the next chain and we're going to do a double crochet, or a treble in UK terminology. But this time, instead of working into the second chain, we're going to work around the post, the double crochet post. So we're going to yarn over and just go to the right of the post, then come to the left, so it just sits on top of your hook, and bring the yarn underneath, so you're wrapping it around that post. Then yarn over, pull through 2 loops and then yarn over, we're going to go in straight into the next chain, then yarn over, pull through 2, then yarn over, we're going to skip 1 and go into the next chain, pull through 2, so still pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, finish up with a chain 1. And we're going to repeat that to the end. So we go straight into the next chain and do a double crochet, we yarn over, go around the post, bring the yarn around, yarn over, pull through 2, then stop, yarn over, go into the next chain, so we don't skip any. Pull through 2 loops, yarn over, skip 1 chain, then go into the next chain, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1. So we do more skipping at the beginning to get that all set up properly, but then as we do each one we only skip that 1 chain. Then we start that again, so we go into the next chain and do a double crochet, no skipping, then yarn over, go around the post, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next chain, pull through 2, yarn over, skip 1, so that's when we do skip 1, and go into the next chain, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1, don't forget that chain 1. Do that again, do a double crochet, yarn over, go around the post, so we're kind of doing a front post stitch, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next chain, pull through 2, yarn over, skip 1, go into the next chain, pull through 2, pull through all 4, chain 1. Then when you get to the end, hopefully you've just got 1 chain left, and in that last chain we're going to do a double crochet. So we just finish up with a double crochet. So that's the end of our first row, and you should end up with sort of, how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 clumps of stitches, and that was a stitch count of 24 in total. Okay, and then we're going to do our main pattern, and this pattern is what we repeat over and over again, so it's slightly different. We start off with chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, that's going to count as our double crochet. We start off with yarning over, and then we're going to put our hook into the second chain of those 3, so the one in the middle, bring the yarn through and then pull through 2. So we need to turn our work. We're going to yarn over, going to skip that first stitch that's below our chains, because that's as if we've worked that stitch already. Going into the next stitch, which is actually your little chain 1, put hook in there, bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2. Then yarn over again, and this time we're going to skip 1, skip 2, and then find that gap, the chain 1 space. So skip 1, skip 2, go into that large chain 1 space, bring the yarn through, then pull through 2, then pull through all 4 loops, finish with a chain 1. We need to do our double crochet first, and we're going to go straight into the next stitch, which is our little chain 1 there, so it's just above that gap. Do a double crochet, and then we need to wrap, yarn over and wrap the yarn around this post, so we go from right to left, same as what we did on the first row. Bring the yarn round, pull through 2, yarn over, go straight into the next stitch, bring the yarn through, pull through 2, then yarn over, we're going to just skip 1, we're going to find that 1 chain space, so skip 1, find a 1 chain space, pull through 2, pull through all 4, chain 1. Again, do that all the way across, so and then in the chain 1, the next stitch, we do a double crochet, wrap your yarn around the post, pull through 2, yarn over, go straight into the next stitch, pull through 2, yarn over, skip 1, go into the chain 1 space, pull through 2, pull through all 4, finish with a chain 1. Do that again in your little chain 1 there, we do a double crochet, wrap it around the post, go into the next stitch, pull through 2, yarn over into the chain 1 space, pull through 2, pull through all 4, chain 1. Then at the end we still do a double crochet in there, next stitch, wrap around the post, pull through 2, go into the next stitch, or our next part of our double crocheting together, pull through 2, then yarn over. At the very end you want to find those chains. There's a little tiny chain space at the end there. We'll put our hook into there, bring the yarn through, pull through 2, then we can finish that clump, pull through all 4 and do your chain 1. We still need to add that 1 double crochet at the end, so we're going to go back into that 3 chain space at the end, it could be like 1 chain space, and do a double crochet. It makes it slightly slanty at first, but by the time you repeat this, it squares up nicely. So have faith, don't worry if it looks a bit slanty by the second row. Okay, so then we're going to repeat that again, exactly the same thing. We're going to start off with our chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we work our first clump by going into that second chain instead of wrapping it around a double crochet. So bring the yarn through, pull through 2, then stop, yarn over. We skip the very first stitch and go into that little chain 1, pull through 2, yarn over, skipping 2 this time, 1, 2, and go into that 1 chain space. It's very slightly different at the beginning. Pull through 2, pull through 4, finish with a chain 1. But then we do the same thing. We go into the chain 1, do a double crochet, then we wrap it around the post this time. So yarn over, go from right to left, wrapping it around, pull through 2, yarn over, go straight into the next stitch, pull through 2, yarn over, skip 1 this time and go into the chain 1 space, pull through 2, pull through 4, chain 1. Don't forget that chain 1, it will haunt you later. Then go into the chain 1, do a double crochet, and just repeat that all the way across. And you just repeat this pattern for as many times as you like. So let's do the end of this row. Pull through 4, chain 1, go into the chain with a double crochet. Wrapping it around the post. The next stitch, yarn over into the chain 1 space. So you start getting a little bit of a rhythm after a while. It becomes an easy pattern to remember. So chain 1. Because I do like patterns that are just the same and don't change too many times. Through 2. And we got to the end now, so we've done our double crochet and wrapped it around the post. Go into the next stitch. Pull through 2, yarn over, and then find those little tiny chain 1 space there. Try not to put it in this big gap, try and find this little gap just above it. Pull through 2, pull through 4, chain 1. We need to still work that double crochet to go back into that tiny little space and do a double crochet, and you can see that that has squared it up nicely. So there we go, we just repeat that over and over again, that second row, until you have something that looks like this, our little camping stitch. And see if we can see our little, there he is, curled up under, I don't know if you can see there's his little head, little eye, his body, his little arm coming sideways, huddling up under the canopy of the trees, our little camping stitch. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, hope you'll give it a try, and I'll eventually write this up as a pattern on my website, just this little diagram here, and hopefully that'll be helpful. And check that out on happyberry.co.uk, where there's loads more free crochet patterns to try. I'll see you soon for some more crochet fun. Thanks for watching. Bye.